Hey everybody, welcome to FeatherFall Tabletop. We got something new going on tonight. Holy cow. But before we get there, let me get through some housekeeping stuff, and then we'll introduce the special guest we had at our table tonight. This is FeatherFall Tabletop. You can find us here on Twitch, in podcast land, on most platforms, and YouTube. And I will say, if you're listening to this playthrough on podcast land, you might want to switch over to YouTube, as it will be very visual. We're going to be sharing some of the fantastic artwork and card sets that are available for this game. And we'll get into what that game is in just a second. But first, we have a couple sponsors. One of those is Found Familiar Coffee. You can check them out. Use code FeatherFall at checkout to get yourself a 10% off and save yourself a little bit of cash and get some excellent coffee. Great people in the community. They are always helping out and being a great a pillar in the tabletop community. Also, we have Skull Splitter Dice. Their link can be found down below, and I'm pretty sure Robo's going to post it in the chat here in just a second. There it is. You can check that out and use code FeatherFall for 10% off all their dice. They just released a what was it? It was like a blood red $5 set. I think it was watermelon. It might have been called watermelon something. I can't remember. And they just released their Tortle playthrough, like how to play a Tortle. They're doing all the races and classes and playthroughs. Not playthroughs, but just how to. So they just released that one. So you can check that on their website as well. That's it. That's housekeeping. Wow. Yeah, tomorrow night is our finale of Wildmount. Join us there as we wrap up that 15-episode arc. It's winding down. It's going to hit the fan. And then after that, we have Descent into Avernus starting here in a week or two on Wednesday nights. I'm excited about that one as well. I will be playing a Tortle in there, so I think it's good timing with Skull Splitter releasing their how-to. Maybe I'll have my act together. Anyway, let's introduce the special guest here. We have Matthew here from Meromorph Games. And he is letting us play his their Kickstarter of, ATMA. I forgot the dang name. I didn't write it down. I wrote everything else down. This is ATMA, a role-playing card game. I just scrolled up to the fantastic PDF handout that you gave us. I'm sorry about that. But this is Matthew, and they currently have a Kickstarter that is in the late pledge stage of it, so you can still get this game. And be one of the first. So, Matthew, I'll kind of hand it over to you. Is there anything you want to tell us about the game, about what we're going to be doing tonight?
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is ATMA. It's a card-based role-playing game meant to be really easy to learn, really easy to run. Not much prep for the GM, and obviously very visual. So if you like some art with your role-playing, you'll see as we go. Yeah, and you are the artist of all this, so... Oh, that's awesome. Well, we're happy to have you. And thank you for reaching out to us and allowing us to get this playthrough in. And I will say, bad link, Robo. I don't know if the Kickstarter link is wrong in there.
Late from pledging tagged itself at the end of the link. So
okay,
if you just pull the word late off the link.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see what happened. Okay, we'll get that proper link in there. And it'll also be in the description box on YouTube and podcast line. But like I said, if you're in podcast, come on over to YouTube, and better yet, come check us out on Twitch. Come at us live.
And just to remind you, this is a sponsored playthrough. You told me not to let you forget that.
I did. I didn't write it down. This is a sponsored playthrough, so again, we thank you very much for that. So there we are. That's it. That's the intros. And I will say, yes, the GM prep is pretty light. I spent probably 15 minutes kind of looking over some of the cards here that are going to come out, and it allows me to improv and allows just the creative freedom. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna start by reading the intro to the world, and then we'll get into our backdrop and story. So, welcome to a world near our own. History changed with the discovery of ATMA, a volcanic material that empowers the living and entwines the dying. Machines have since evolved true artificial intelligence, though they remain shackled to specific routines. while Earth's many satellite moons have cracked open to reveal an inquisitive alien race. Nations have contracted in these turbulent times, and the result is a tenuous peace across the map. It is the restless zones, the cracks in the map between nations, where trouble stirs. Those who dwell here can rely on no one for aid, except you. You are a skilled adventurer, ready to test your limits against the world's dangerous frontiers. You won't be alone. Other heroes have answered the call. Learn to depend on each other and your creativity in the face of the unknown. The sky is getting darker. Awesome little intro there. And we are playing, well, let me do the share, right? That shows to everybody. So you should see this on your screen. And we are playing in Taiwu Rig in the Pan-Asian Compact. And so the Pan-Asian Compact's Taiwu research platform floats in the River Sea, built to study an ATMA maelstrom over the drowned city of Shanbei. Hopefully I'm saying that one right. Its scientists examined ATMA's effects on seawater, gravity, and even the newborn ghosts who coalesce with the storm. Their research uncovered new life forms and new weapons. The roving pirates of Ohlonga Armada, again, hopefully I said that right, raided the rig for armaments, triggering an explosion that left the Taiwu in ruins. Now it circles the Maelstrom's rim as warring factions plunder its wreckage. So that is our backdrop. That's where our story is going to take place. Now let's go to our story. Intersect Raid. Taiwu's destruction was an international incident, and a response has been in the works for a year. Intersect, a global peacekeeping initiative, is airdropping agents onto the rig to reclaim it and its research. Given the sheer number of players battling for Taiwu, the agents are outmanned and outgunned. They've reached out for your help, but locating them in the twisted ruins will be a difficult and dangerous task. And with the story card, we get our main goal for our session tonight. And your main goal is to help the undercover agent retake the rig. And that's where we are. So this is where we will begin to let the players introduce themselves, their characters, and why they are here. Maybe ties they have with each other, and kind of build a background with each other. So we will start in the top left on the Twitch screen with Bob.
One thing I do want to point out is, so you're seeing the digital version of all of this. If you go to the Kickstarter, you actually get like the tarot card version of these, and oh my gosh, I want them so bad. But yeah, so I'll start. Bel Yaga the bear. You are a myriad, acquirer of souls in a single body, but before that, you were a warbearer in the Grigori militia. When you would suffer harm, you can damage your armor instead. It can take another hit until you spend a few minutes repairing it. So, my main goal coming here is really just help where I can and be the support bear for Arctura.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. We will move down below you, Bob, and we'll go with Jason. Who are you playing, and why might you be here in the Taiwu rig?
So I am playing Rain Pedal. Actually, can I share that with you all?
Yeah, somebody shared it.
There we go.
I got it.
Okay. I wield an array of guns. I'm a ghost, and I can shape water into small objects like keys or bullets and infuse one with some special effects. I come with a pistol, rifle, and canteen. I am a member of the Aspara Battalion, which is the special task force of the Pan-Asian Compact that previously ran Taiwu Rig where we're at. So I've been sent here on a mission to assist and help recover the Taiwu Rig. And I tend to be kind of a squad leadery type, so it's quite possible that all the rest of you guys are members of the squad, as it were, that's been put together. I don't know for sure how everyone else's Aspara Battalion or Pan-Asian Compact what's the word I'm looking for?
Association.
How you guys feel? Yeah, associations, relationships therein lie.
Perfect. All right, we will slide on over. Robo, who are you playing, and what are you doing here?
Yep. So I'm playing Arctura, the Huntress. She's a retired pilot who has been hanging out kind of in the restless zone. But I think she would be here because she was hired to maybe pilot over people to this rig that's in the middle of the water. As Bel Yaga had mentioned, we're kind of like traveling, and he's been kind of like my muscle, and like I see him kind of as being like my enforcer kind of protector here. Arctura would be the one that's probably piloting everyone over to this rig to help out with this kind of mission. So. And
you have like a familiar, right? Like Riven?
Oh, yes. And so built into her arm, she has or not built in, but she has a gauntlet. The gauntlet's power is that I'm able to summon kind of my partner. It's an AI co-pilot named Riven, and I can send out Riven to do things like distract or maybe to kind of do reconnaissance and fly around. So that's what.
Awesome. And I'm looking at your card, and it says on a 9 minus, or is that how you would read that?
Yeah, 9 or less.
Yeah, 9 or less. The GM might add Riven needs to dock for repairs. Now, is that dock on your gauntlet?
Yeah, and so I imagine that when Riven is docked, you can't tell that Riven's even there. It looks like a big gauntlet. Like I'm looking at the grooves, and so once Riven kind of powers up, then you can see this bird kind of unfurl and fly out. And, yeah,
that's awesome.
But otherwise, it's like a big power gauntlet before then.
Love it. Okay, that leads us to Matthew. Last but not least, let us know who you're playing and what you're doing here on the Taiwu rig.
Yes, so I am playing Vishtat. So I'm actually one of the alien titans that came out of Earth's many moons when they cracked open a little while ago. I think there was a war, but that's all kind of in the past. So I'm sort of a former soldier now trying to make a new life. I have some weird personal history stuff that maybe I haven't yet shared with the group. I have some special abilities, including within me lies a portal to a corrupted singularity, and I can use my spikes to channel its gravity, so I can put them into a surface and reorient gravity towards them in the area. So, and I guess Rainpetal, if you're the squad leader, I'll let you maybe tell me why you would have brought me along, I guess.
I mean, you're definitely kind of the muscly type, like it's a very special skill set that you have that might come in quite handy on a giant floating boat.
Yeah, putting holes in it.
Reorienting gravity.
I don't think I swim too well.
What was the big movie where they were capsized?
Poseidon Adventure.
Poseidon Adventure, yeah, like where maybe Vishtat just is all like, oh nope, gravity's over here, and everything starts floating towards the ceiling on one of the lower decks, and yeah,
I love it. All right, so I think just knowing that Arctura, you are a pilot, I think we're taking your craft to the rig. You are actually piloting it with everybody else loaded inside. And you set down on the rig itself, on the main, landing pad, and I'll share that the story card again. And you do see like ships out and around you that there is fire going off, and you don't see any other individuals on the deck of the ship, though. You do see just most everything is out and around this the rig itself. You are the only ones on the landing platform as you come in and set down, and you do see one main kind of entry door that leads away from this platform, and that's where you guys will all start. I'll let you guys kind of get the role play warming up here and figure out what you want to do. Remember that your main goal is to help the undercover agent retake the rig. You do not have that undercover agent in your possession at this moment, so let that be what it is.
Vishtat would like to walk up to Arctura and shake her hand for the nice bumpy ride over here and ask what your craft's name is so that he can thank it as well.
She's gonna pat the machine and be like, "This is my pride and joy, the Falcon." There you go. I've had this ship for years. It's done me right. It's done me good. So it's I'm very proud of it, and then I'll just hit it, and then like a little bolt fall off, and I was like, oh, that was meant to happen. Bolt back, and just kind of screw back in. Yeah. It's my trusty Falcon.
Bel Yaga, how are you taking this landing?
Well, I mean, I feel like I kind of do like a combat roll out of the ship, as much as a bear could. It kind of doesn't look as good as a combat roll as like maybe a trained professional. It looks more like a dog rolling on the ground, but I'm instantly scanning for any enemies, and that's kind of like Bel Yaga's main directive, being partnered with Arctura, is identify hostiles and then just eliminate them immediately. So that's my first initial thing is combat roll, and then just look for enemies.
So question for the creator: is there like a what would be the equivalent of a perception check? Can they make like scanning the area and making that roll?
Yeah. So
there we go.
Those are the default moves. So usually
Okay.
when something doesn't
Perfect.
fall cleanly into something else, so I would say probably a realize
Okay.
would be
Yeah,
essentially
perfect.
that.
Yeah. So give me a realize roll, Bel Yaga.
I'm
See
not
what
too
comes of that.
smart, so I'm gonna go with calm. Yeah, that's a failure. So
Okay.
3 and a 1 plus 0 modifier.
Yeah. As you roll out of the Falcon and earn an extra by letting them succeed. Nah, not yet. Sorry, I got a pop up on the interface here saying I could let you succeed, but not yet. As you roll out, you get some like a mist of one of the waves that crashes into the side of the rig, kind of splashes up, and you get some of that salt water in your eye, and you are having a hard time kind of orienting yourself, and you got to get that out of your eyes.
I feel like whatever part of me is left as a bear is like roaring and just like trying to get whatever that is just to kind of go away.
Yeah, using like you're roaring, but at the same time you're using the back of your paw, so you're not like scratching your eyes out.
Smooth
I like
landing,
it.
folks.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Okay, Rain Petal, this is your previous home. What are you doing as you're landing?
I try not to laugh at Bel Yaga's antics as he kind of like tumbles down the ramp out of the craft, and I'm looking. I also have a coded dossier detailing the mission. Is one of the props that has been granted to me. So I will kind of be like side-eyeing Bel Yaga's antics as he rolls out of the aircraft, seeing as we didn't see anyone immediately around, and I will kind of be reviewing the dossier to see if there's anything that's immediately pertinent to the situation at hand.
Okay,
Kind of like doing the whole not really paying attention to everything that's going on around me, but like kind of being slightly aware that like the bear just rolled out of the thing and the giant colossus and the pilot are busy talking to each other and like the ship is falling apart, and I'm just trying to ignore like the comedic sense of timing that everything has had and like focus my attentions on this dossier.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe this should have been done during your flight over, but during that flight your head was somewhere else, thinking about touching making contact onto this rig again, that you weren't in the right headspace. But once the Falcon landed, and the comical movements from Bel Yaga, you kind of get in the right headspace and you realize like there's work to be done, and you flip through this dossier real quick. And the first thing that pops out is the entrance, the door leading off of this deck is the living quarters. And that might be, a place where someone, might be hanging out. There's some comfort there, even though a lot of the rig is in wreckage or in ruin. It might still be a spot that, somebody might be, posting up, and it might be a good place to start.
Prashant would like to ask Arturo real quick. Do you have any like stored food stuffs on the craft? You know, like emergency rations, anything like that?
I think, Arturo will respond and be all. I mean, we have a mess hall like way in the back. It's mainly just a closet, but I call it my mess hall.
What's like the smallest little like piece of food thing that I could take with me that would be available? Like a can of beans or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say canned something. I'm just trying to think of what a good canned corn. There you go. We have plenty. We have corn in the back.
Prashant would like to take this canned corn and then pull out a ribbon and put like a nice little bow on it and say, "Now we have a welcome gift. Now we could go say hello."
Yeah, I like how you think, and then I'm gonna give it a pat, I guess, on the back though.
And when you say that, I'm gonna be like, I have a welcome gift of my own, and it'll be just the cannon kind of like turns.
Awesome. Rain Pedal, what were you going? You were saying something when you were muted.
I was just saying, all right, guys. Well, there's our entrance. There should be living quarters on the other side. I don't know if we're expecting friendlies or hostiles, but that's going to be our first destination. And I'll start slowly walking in that general direction towards the entrance that was marked in the dossier.
Perfect. And you make your way through, and I get to flip a scene card. So for those of you watching at home, we have 3 scene cards, and those are going to kind of lay out the different acts or scenes for our session tonight. And the first session brings us to, I will share it, to the living quarters. So as you open this up, kind of a stale, almost moldy kind of senses are hitting you. A smell and taste are coming into your senses, and you see along the walls here what used to be like holographic picture frames or vistas lining the walls of these crew quarters. Now they're all dark and littered with broken glass. You do see faint glows of ATMA kind of illuminating here and there. That could be the ghosts that linger in here. You're not quite sure. But yeah, you walk in and you do see a hallway with different pods that have entrances to the different living quarters. Now, the players might learn that. Now this is a question for Matthew. Are those things that I can like throw in and
That's
as
all
flavor?
food for thought.
Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. So those are things that I can throw in. I have something that we are going to go with, kind of taken flavor from that, but it's going to change it just a little bit. But we do have a goal here to get us to the next scene. And so one of them, you have to do one of the 2. And I don't know if you openly have to pick or they just kind of come about in the role play. I think we'll figure out how that goes. But one is to soothe someone whose emotional outburst threatens the scene. Maybe Bal Yaga is going to lose his mind here. I don't know. Or, I mean, I'm just imagining a bear in like these tight quarters. It would be kind of funny, as well as the Titan. Or you can recruit a guide who can lead you through or off the rig, which works very well with the with our overall goal, right? Is to find somebody that can help you out. So,
do we see any signs of life or anything laying around?
Not readily in the entrance. There is an open pod door to the right, and then there are a couple pod doors that are closed to the left. There is some faint glowing that is going on in the one with the open pod, but you would have to come in further.
Prashant will trundle in a little ways further.
Yeah, I'll follow directly behind.
I'm holding my can of corn out, in welcome fashion.
Okay. And I have played a card. So in this room, as you get to this first room, you see this, and I'll share it here for everybody. You see this kind of crawling creature that's in a puddle. Half of its lower body is almost like T-1000 melted, but the rest is like climbing out. And in front of it, there is a little heart-shaped locket that is sitting on the ground, and you can see him, this being, this ghostly figure that is glowing with ATMA, trying to reach for it, and his hand hits, and it goes through it, and he tries to drag it and pull it towards him, but it doesn't. It just sticks there, that little bit of that trinket there, that heart-shaped locket, sticks to the floor, and it's just constantly doing that. It almost looks like he's crawling, but it's not. It's very specifically hitting on top of that trinket that it's there, and every now and then you hear like, but its body movements are so fluid it doesn't make any noise. It's more noises coming from its mouth.
Rain Pedal, do we your squad members, your servants or whatever, do we know that you used to live here? Like, did you share that personal information with us?
I hadn't quite gotten that far, so no, not yet. But and actually, upon seeing this wraith, that's Rain Pedal's first comment. Things have definitely gone downhill since I lived here. That is a travesty.
Bishtat would like to open the can of corn and just like helpfully pour it into this puddle wraith.
Yeah, so the corn, like the bits of corn start to populate this puddle, and it starts to mix with some of the liquids that are in the can itself. But it's almost like an oil and water. It's pooling on top all the liquid and water that was in the can itself. And as it's like bringing its hand forward and brings it back, it disturbs that pool and pushes all the water from the can off to the side, and it's looking at you now. Excuse me, I forgot your name. Vistat.
Matthew, yeah.
It's looking at you and just not making any movement towards you. Seems to be not interested in the corn itself.
Who wouldn't be?
It was a good try.
Corn's delicious. If you still need to.
I'm wondering if you could make a coerce roll here, though. Like thinking about it, I don't want your action to be.
Would you like to?
Go ahead.
Do you want me to treat that corn as a coerce roll?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I don't want it to be just an empty. Let's give it have some actions.
I'll do it with sly then. I'm not very sly, and this seems appropriate.
Oh no! We've wasted all of our good rolls, by the way.
Yeah, you guys were rolling pre-game, and you were in the green the whole time. I'm going to let you succeed. I want to earn some here. I think this is a good spot. It does reach and try to scoop up some of that corn, but again, it's like passing through it and not able to do it. One hand is still reaching for the locket, but the other one is trying to scoop up some of that corn and bring it in closer to it. It can't quite reach it all, or it can't like manifest itself around it and push it. Some of the primal wailing has now kind of softened on the edges a little bit, and it does seem to be more at peace, just a little bit.
Bishtat looks back at Artura and says, "We need more corn."
Back to the ship.
Well, I think Arcturus, seeing that this creatures like kind of do something, or it's it's obviously kind of in pain. I was gonna ask if this is how it works. Can I do like a realize to kind of observe it and see if I can figure out something about it, like kind of what its motives are? Is that how it works, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to like use my realize or use the ability realize to see if I can kind of uncover anything about it.
Yep.
And I'm gonna use bright, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, bright or calm.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
I rolled 8.
That was an 8. Let me get back to the rolling chart just so I'm in the right spot. So an 8 is a success. You get to narrate what happens here and what you kind of set the scene for me, and I'll fill in where you may be wondering. But I do earn a token for that.
Okay, and so I think the main thing is Arturo wants to know kind of what the locket is symbolizing, or I think I would have noticed that the creature was trying to reach for this locket, and maybe if I can realize something about why the locket is so important, or something along that lines, maybe that would help to try to figure out what the motives are of this kind of creature.
Yeah, perfect. I like that. I'm going to spend a token here, and as you are kind of like looking in at this this being on the ground, your eyes fill with a projection. And you see, and everybody else can see the actual, the being change shape and more to what is more humanoid, more like living. But sorry, I haven't memorized the names yet. Arctura, you almost go into a movie, like virtual reality, and you see this person sitting at a vanity. putting this locket on and clicking it in place, opening it up and looking at it, closing it, tucking it into their shirt, and kind of getting ready for the day. And then they get up, and as they get up and turn around and walk towards you in this virtual reality moment, their visage changes back to this wraith figure. Everybody else, while that's going on, you see that figure change into that same version of the woman sitting at a vanity with the locket around their neck. But as soon as it snaps out, and Arctura, you kind of snap out of it, that locket falls back down onto the deck of this in this living quarter.
I feel like, being experienced as we are, we would have seen similar demonstrations happen at times, or know about this type of stuff.
Or you've definitely like been prepped on some of the ghosts and inhabitants of Taiwu Rig before you got here.
And I think at the first change of the Flood Wraith into, you know, the more humanoid figure, I would roar, like growl in a sense. But then that would, like, the souls within me would kind of ease that, the bear part that's left of me, and just...
Okay. Yeah, and maybe your roar is timed with the changing from the living human back to it, this wraith form, and so it's almost perfect timing. It kind of snaps them out of it, snaps you out of it. Rain Petal, what are you thinking as this is happening?
Rain Petal's frowning. Being a ghost herself, she kind of knows what this is. This is a being that's lost its way. It's an angry ghost, kind of, as it were, a stuck ghost. And it doesn't sit too well with her. Rain Petal doesn't remember her own death.
Okay.
She just coalesced here on the rig. And so she's seen these creatures before, even when the rig wasn't so desolate and a ruin. They would occasionally coalesce here. Something about this maelstrom that the rig is floating around in brings forth the dead, as it were. And so it's just sad to Rain Petal. And she's going to say, I don't know that there's a lot we can do for it. Even if we find out what it wants, it'll probably be a temporary salve at best. It's likely going to be stuck that way forever. It's not going to fully cross over, I don't think.
Arctura, as you snap out of it and Rain Petal is delivering this information, you do see that same vanity off in the back of this room.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, as we're trying to go for one of these goals, maybe the party goal is we try to soothe this wraith. That's kind of the direction I was going, to pick one of the goals. I know that you don't have to pick one, but it sounds like maybe soothing this wraith is going to help us kind of get through, right, to the next. And so you said I see the vanity off to the side.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what's the best way to soothe this wraith. I guess, can I examine what's at the vanity kind of and see what's there?
Yeah, on there you can see, just the basic makings of a normal vanity. There's some little makeup compact. There's a hand mirror. There is a bigger mirror. There's a couple drawers on each side. There is a like a little glass dish that you can see a couple other pieces of jewelry in that are just sitting on top there.
Okay. I'm trying to think if it would help, because my thought process is either we give the wraith the locket or we put it back to where it should be, kind of, and it's kind of out of place. You said that the wraith can't touch anything, correct? It's just going through everything.
Yeah, it seems to be not able to make contact with anything outside of the floor of this room.
Okay, so maybe I'll try returning the locket back to where it should be on the vanity, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know if that requires anything, but I'll slowly kind of go towards the locket to take it. And if I'm not stopped, I'll pick it up and then put it back.
Okay. Give me another coerce roll here as I think you're trying to persuade it to maybe let off a little bit and try to persuade this wraith to let you in. So let's see how that plays out.
Okay, and then coerce is, let me see.
That's either sly or tough.
I am neither sly or tough, but I'm actually super not sly. So I'm gonna go with tough. Ooh, that's a failure out of 6.
I narrate the action. As you come in to reach for this, it does swipe at your hand. There is this contact with you. It's very, very cold, and it kind of chills up your arm a little bit. Matthew, how does damage work in here? Like this would be very non-lethal. This is
You're on mute, Matthew.
You're muted, Matthew.
Thank you. Whenever you spend tokens, you can also inflict harm. So
Okay.
if you want to just say the cold hurts them, just like spend a token, they take 1 harm.
Perfect. Yeah. So
And, if you view your character card, you can add it to the hearts for the players.
Oh no, Robo
Okay.
took a heart.
So I will definitely do that with the wraith. I'll spend 1 token. It does do 1 bit of harm to you, but you are able to grab the token itself, or the trinket.
Okay.
What's your reaction to the harm?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think since I failed, I'm gonna say that I didn't think, and I actually used my human arm and not my super protected mechanical arm to pick up the necklace. And so like a shot of like that cold that you're saying, it shoots up my arm, and I almost want to instinctively drop it, but I kind of hold on to it, and I still pull it back, and I kind of jerk back in a response and go like, oh, like that stings, kind of thing.
So you like shudder because I'm gonna like light up my cannon.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I think as I see you then get riled up, and for the sake of the goal, I'm gonna be like, calm, Belyaga, like it's okay, like, don't worry. I don't think it really knows what it's doing, kind of, and then I'll slowly walk away. It's like, please don't fill this area with ice.
That's the equivalent to saying I cast fireball in the room, right? I light up my cannon. I didn't ask how big the room was. So Arctura, you're able to get it, and Belyaga, you hear Arctura kind of calming you down. I'll let you do what you want with that. But Arctura, you do have the trinket, the locket.
Yeah, and so I'll slowly try to look for like a spot that it should like probably go to, like a box or a locket or jewelry, and I'll return the item back to kind of the place where it should be to try to calm this creature so that we may maybe pass through, kind of.
Yeah, as you get closer and actually approach the vanity, you do see a little hook next to the mirror itself that is empty.
Yep, and then I'll slowly place it on there, and I'll the whole time I'll be watching the wraith or the ghost basically to see how it's going to react.
Yeah, as you go over there and you set the chain on there, everybody else probably watching the wraith as well. You see it almost flatten into a puddle altogether, and that puddle starts to move over, and then it manifests up into the chair that is at the vanity, and now you see this wraith sitting in the chair, staring at it itself and the trinket, and all of its wailing and kind of primal sounds that were coming out of it at once or earlier have gone, and it's now this calm, almost it's kind of a beautiful sight now. It's the blues and the grays that are kind of coming out of the body are almost a thing of calm and welcoming, where it was this kind of vicious thing sitting on the floor, writhing around. Now it's more at peace. It does see this trinket hanging there, and it's almost, you wonder what it's seeing in the reflection of the mirror. And I think with that, we're going to call that the goal for the first scene. You have soothed someone whose emotional outburst threatens the scene. And we use that wraith as the someone, and you have soothed it.
So Vishtat would like to scoop up the corn off the ground into the can again and set it on the desk, just in case, you know.
You never know.
Snack for later, maybe, kind of.
I love it. All right, how's everybody else reacting to the ending of this scene?
Does when it moves, when the previous puddle relocates, do we now like see? Was it covering anything, like a hatch or anything that we didn't notice before?
No, it was just a corner in the room where it had puddled. No real understanding as to why it would have been right there, other than maybe that's where the locket was. and it was, trying to get as close to it as it could.
Rainpetal's gonna put a hand on the shoulder of the wraith there, and just kind of lean down and say, "Be at peace," and kind of step back and nod solemnly in Arctura's general direction. Having done something for this ghost is definitely impresses Rainpetal, who spent a lot of time here seeing many of these creatures and not much being done for them.
In response to Rainpetal saying that, one of the many souls in Bel Yaga will say, "Peace would be nice."
Okay. So we're going to move scenes. As you kind of are exiting the living quarters, let's flip over the next scene card.
Oh, God, I love this.
I get 4 tokens for scene 2. Guys, you're going to get some stuff. So, Matthew, in our story card, it says I get to help the undercover agent retake the rig, and then I get to add a star extra to scene 2. Do I have to pay for that, or is that a bonus?
It would normally be a bonus. If you are trying to find ways to use all your tokens, feel free to take it, but it's up to you. Yeah, you would not normally have to pay for it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to pay for it. So let's share this scene card with you. As you are making your way deeper into the rig itself, you're getting more and more to the center of it, the Xinsheng core. Deep within the research sector stands a cathedral hall with 3 glass tanks. This is the temple where you forged new life, melding man and ghost to create living reactors. Only one remains in its tank, but intruders are trying to replicate Yu's work. And less than an intruder, you see what is our undercover agent, and I'll share that as well. You see an intersect detail, looking very, there's some 80s colors in there. I like it. Very like cyberpunky. Peace is a full-time job for agents of Intersect, the only organization allowed to police the restless zones. They have global jurisdiction and expert training, making them the ideal janitors for a mess like Taiwu. Armed with Lancer pistols, glass cloaks, and no restraint, they've come to Taiwu to mete out their brand of justice. And, I don't know how much of that flavor I'm sticking with. I grabbed this card rather quickly. But he is there. This person is there, kind of peeking around corners, looking for things, and almost looking lost as you all are approaching this core room.
Stott will obviously look at Artura and say, "I knew that we needed more corn."
That's great. And then, so can I ask whereabouts this detail is inside of the core area? Like, close to us, kind of farther away? And where would he be? Or they be?
Yeah, he's kind of on the other side of this big cathedral room, and think like almost literal cathedral, like almost a church cathedral. Very big vaulted ceilings, these big pillars with what used to be maybe a walkway up top that has kind of been crumbled within the ruins. And then at the far end, you see that one glass tank that still holds one of the ghosts that is kind of a living reactor. Still pulsing with power. He is on the other side, kind of rifling through some stuff. Hasn't made eyes at any of you yet, but he's over there on the other side.
Did my dossier tell me who we were expecting for our agent?
You didn't know for sure. They did say it was.
I'd like to think it was.
Go ahead.
Oh, I think it would be funny if it was like just completely wrong.
Yeah. It did say a living being, though. Not. They didn't have any other record of what or who it might be.
Upon seeing them, then Rainpetal will have a hand on one of her pistols, not drawn, but still in a hip holster, and will call out, "Identify yourself."
Who is it? Who? Identify yourself. And you see him kind of back up against one of the columns.
I'll move.
Vishtat will wave and be like, Vishtat!
I was gonna say I'll move between the agent and Arctura, and just like take a full standing position.
All right. Same time. We'll introduce at the same time. 3, 2,
1.
1.
Raid pedal with Espara
Stop.
Battalion.
Everyone can shout my name, right? I'm assuming that on top of everyone else and no one can hear. Yeah.
And he turns around and comes out. He's like, I guess we shouldn't have all said it at the same time. My name is Pete. I'm with Intersect Detail. Identify yourselves one at a time.
We are Bel Yaga. And it won't be like the voice you would imagine a giant bear saying, just like a soft, soothing voice.
A real teddy bear you are.
I'm Rain Pedal. This is my team, and I'll introduce Arctura and Vishtat. Intersect says you're taking too long. We're here to assist.
Oh, that's good. That's good because we need to retake this rig. We need to get control back.
Do you have a plan for that?
Well, I was rummaging around for some food. I'm kind of hungry. And then I was going to make a plan. Yeah.
Vishtat would like to. He looks confused. He's like, "Who are you trying to retake the rig from?" And he looks around like, "Is there anybody else here?"
Yeah, there's pirates all around. You didn't see them on your way in? I haven't come
Do they
across
look
any
like
yet.
puddles?
Puddles? I had a dog named Puddles. No, I haven't seen any puddles.
So, gameplay question. Sorry to break roleplay. When we switch scenes, do we flip over our second move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you, good question there. You all have like basic move cards, right? That are like actions that you can do, I guess. Am I right there?
Yeah. No, so
Yes.
I mean,
I can fix.
yeah, go ahead.
I can fix his food problem.
Brought the farm.
Oh yeah.
I would like to plant my special seeds that I brought with me.
That's awesome. Yeah, where are you planting?
Apparently in seawater.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, you you pull some seeds out of your bag, out of your satchel, and you do find a puddle of seawater that the seeds don't readily take. When you're every time you've done this before, it's kind of a quick kind of turnaround from sowing to, would it be sowing to reaping?
Yes.
Sure.
And yeah, just make it happen. And this one's taking a little bit longer. It's not like this isn't Miracle Grow that's on here. They are starting to sprout, but you can see like half the seeds maybe wither and die away, where the other half do actually get up into something. But it is taking a while. And Pete says, well, "What you got there? What's that? What's that gonna be?"
Just wait, it'll be worth it.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Anyway, yeah. So the goal here is to, we've got to kind of root out anything in here. I haven't come across anything yet, but my details just begun. So you're all tagging along with me then, right?
Sure, I guess. Yeah. I mean, we're here to make sure that you get the job done. I was hoping to find someone with a little bit more of a idea of what they needed to do to get their job done, but
we do have scene
don't
goals.
we, Pete?
Oh yeah, I didn't read the scene goals. Yes, thank you for keeping us on track here. That's my bad. I got so excited about Pete in the corner that. So your goals for this scene: you can exile the entity before it's forced to absorb a new victim, or you can create and hook up an alternate power source. Which leads us to. I'm going to play a card here because I have 10 tokens.
What's a twist?
Where to go? Okay, twist. Let me. Oop. Yeah, so I'm playing a twist here. Do I have to pay for that? Does it cost?
Yes, it should cost 1.
Okay. Oh, jeez, I have 10. So I'm going to play this as you are having this interaction about the seeds growing up and figuring out food, and Pete's kind of making his way closer to you. Any light that is there and that glass case power source starts to flicker quicker, and then all of a sudden just dies out and it goes all dark here. Your shoe floats up off your foot, then lunges towards your heart. Invisible fairy-like ghosts called Zions possess stray objects nearby, pelting anything that moves with enthusiasm. So I'm playing a poltergeist twist, and maybe this could be both goals have now come into play, right? Exile the entity and create a hookup for a power source. So it goes out, and I'm going to attack the stat because you were the loudest, and that's what the card says to do. Since you were being very loud with your planting of seeds and wishing you had more corn, it's going to come in and explain. Could you explain combat here real quick?
Yeah. So I mean, pretty much you can spend your tokens for either moves that extras have or fake ones, and basically spend the tokens to deal harm. And if we attack stuff, then we roll and successes deal 1 harm.
Okay. This poltergeist does not have hit points. I would
say it's up to you how much.
17. Good luck.
17. No, I'm looking at some of the other extras in the deck. I think like 2, anywhere from 2 to 4 is kind of good. So I'll go with 3. We'll say it has 3 hit points here.
I'm just imagining like Vestat finally got some big spiky fruit to grow, and then it floated up and like jammed him in the eye.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So finally, one of those stalks that you have planted starts to bear an ear of corn, and the ear of corn detaches itself and floats up and just comes and pokes you in the eye, and then it's almost floating around and going to go poke somebody else. So I will say I'll spend a token here for you to take 1 harm, as you've been ear of corn to the eye. So
corn, I thought we were friends.
So that's my turn. If somebody else wants to jump in and what they'd like to do.
As soon as things go slightly sideways here, and the lights go out and we see things floating around, I'm going to actually use one of my moves here, and draw both pistols and lay down suppressive fire. And try and shoot all of the floating objects pretty much out of the air while they are there.
Yeah, so by the time you're doing this, you see the 1 ear of corn that is floating away from the stat, but you see 2 more ears of corn come out and are now like one floating towards Belyaga and one towards Arctura.
So I just hit the roll. Hold on, I haven't rolled dice yet. So this is calm plus my roll. Calm is 2. Oh, it's already got calm at the bottom, so I just need to hit the roll button.
Whoa! Ooh, that's
successes are normally 2 harm when they're crits.
Oh, wow. Dang. Don't tell him that. You get both pistols out and you take out 2 ears of corn, just kind of explode, and you see little bits of popcorn now falling down into the floor. But you get to narrate most of that, so I'll let you.
So yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happens. It's very gunslinger style, like just rounds firing off out of both of these pistols, shooting anything that is floating in the air and anything that looks like it might start to come up off the ground, even a little bit, is kind of like the shoot to like make it lay back down on the ground. Part of the ability of suppressive fire here, I will share this group there, is that I can choose an effect, which is to force it to move away. So I would like to, as well as inflicting the damage there from my critical hit, I want to get the poltergeist to try and decide that maybe this is not the best place for it to be, and see if I want to try and spook it out of the area, just with the barrage of of gunfire that's knocking down everything that's, shoots the ear of corn, and then something else starts to float up, and then that gets shot down, and then something else starts to float up, and then that gets shot down. So kind of hey, I've got all of the bases covered here. Please, not even please, leave, because anything you try and pick up, I'm gonna knock out of the air is what I'm trying to accomplish here.
Perfect. Yeah, and you're able to do all of that. Everything you narrated. There is still one ear of corn that is floating around, and I'll say it's the one going towards Bel Yaga.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna try and, since I'm already like standing on two, becoming bipedal, I'm gonna try and just swat it out of the air as best as I can. So I think that would just be a rumble. It would, when you fight a nearby foe, you roll tough or hasty, and +7 does harm, otherwise fail.
Okay.
So we're going to roll. I got +2 tough, so hopefully
Hey, that's an 8. That's a success.
it's a success.
Good.
It's a success.
Yeah, you get to narrate that action. So there is this one floating ear of corn coming towards you as you're up and ready to.
Yeah, and I just swat it down, and then as I see it's corn. I'm gonna eat it and just devour the cob and everything. It's just it's gone.
Like in one thing, like this. Yeah.
Exactly.
You wish you had butter and some salt, maybe, but you do. It's very bland, this corn, as it didn't have time maybe to fully germinate, as it was, infested with poltergeist a little too soon. But yeah, you're able to swat it down, and you pin it down to the ground, and then with your other paw you come in and you grab both ends and just you finish it off. Meanwhile, you don't see Pete anywhere.
This guy. Sorry.
And then a few seconds die down, and he comes back into visibility. Hey, good job.
I would like to gather up all the kernels that Rain Petal blew apart into a big handful and offer it to him, and here, you said you were hungry.
Oh yeah, I was. This was infested with some sort of otherworldly being. I don't know if it's safe to eat. Is it?
Should be fine.
Should be fine. Okay. Yeah, he holsters his pistol, takes his shades, kind of puts them on top of his head, takes a bite. It's again, that bland, it's popcorn, so it doesn't have a whole lot of natural flavor. But he's like, yeah, could use some salt, but it's all right. Thank you. So what's next?
Artura's gonna kind of whisper over to Rain Petal, seeing Pete come out of his hiding spot, and be like, I think I know why it's taking so long for this mission to go happen. Kind of seeing how he hid from the battle and he was kind of hiding. Yeah, I was gonna whisper it to Rain Petal.
I suppose.
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead,
Vrishtat.
Oh, Vishnat was gonna come and confer with the boss and say, so I guess if we need to retake the rig, maybe we should try to get the power systems here back online so we could get the defenses up or something.
I would definitely agree. There's only one problem.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's a ghost reactor.
Well, there's
ghost corn.
We have ghost corn. I don't think that'll power the reactor, but we do need to get the seawall rebooted. That might be number one, getting Taiwu back up and running. So I think I'm remembering now that was my those were my orders. You get lost down here, and
I totally just remembered.
Yeah, stuff seems to fade in and out. I think it's the pressure, being down deep into this rig here. But I mean, I could sure use all of your help. Who knows what we'll meet down there?
You've definitely spent too much time in the core.
Yeah. I mean, we might find some irradiated tomatoes or something floating down there.
Verstat gets
know?
excited.
Oh, about tomatoes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess looking at around the room, is there anything maybe it's a realize or I can kind of look anything that's immediately looks like it's unplugged or broken, to kind of heading towards that goal of getting this scene kind of working again, like this room. I think that's a realize, right? Or actually, here, let me do this. I'm gonna put my gauntlet out, and Riven's gonna like arm itself and kind of like transform it a little bit and pop out his wings. And I kind of want to send it out to him out, or I haven't decided. Okay, Riven. So I'm gonna send Riven out to observe and kind of look at the room to see if maybe there's something that we missed.
Okay.
And so, what kind of role do you want me to do for that?
Does Riven have like stats, or does it use your stats? It'll be a realize roll.
It's kind of like a tool that I can use, right?
Okay.
To kind of choices. So I'm gonna send Riven super high up to kind of surveys maybe something we didn't see or that we missed, right?
An observation.
Working tandem ability.
Oh, whoops!
Yeah.
I shared that. I wasn't trying to. I was just looking at it.
Yeah, I'd say go ahead and do a realize roll and use your stats if Riven doesn't have any. Couple things happen here. You find a oops, let me see. Here we go. Sorry, I'm building my deck as we're playing here. This is fun to play with, the whole interactive table here. As Riven's flying around, you do see there is a main like power switch that seems to be powered down, and then right next to it you do see what is I'll share here with everybody. You got a prop. You see an aqua lung collar next to it. Actually, you see several of them kind of all hooked up like on coat hangers next to the main power on-off switch. What looks to be like a closet that has one of the doors open. You can see these aqua lungs in there. And yeah, I'll read that. Utility divers use these devices to repair trawlers and auto subs. Unfortunately, the collar's design makes it difficult to remove without help. Solo divers find themselves unable to breathe air. They are forced to tread water, hoping an observer will spot and free them. The collar might force you to breathe water instead of air, project a holographic map to wrecks, hull damage, or treasure, release voice-altering gases. Ooh.
Nice.
Wonder if those voice-altering gases would be a good power source.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you did exile the entity, the poltergeist. But if you want to double up and find a way to create and hook up an alternate power source, I'll find another token, or not a token, but a prop that I can add in there. When I just realized you can scroll over to more props.
And did you know that? So Matthew said this in Discord. You can clear the ones that are already used.
Oh, on the table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can also add a divider and then switch some of the cards to a new row if you want to not have to scroll.
Nice. Yeah, I'll get rid of the Wraith there. Is it wise to get rid of scenes? Like, we're kind of done with them, right? So.
Yeah, you shouldn't need them. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that cleaned it up a little bit.
Verstat would like to look at the boss and at Pete and say, like, can we get to the seawall with this facility in the state it currently is, or do we need to hook up the alternate power source as well?
Oh, you're talking to me? I mean, you said boss. I didn't know.
Well,
yeah.
to Rain Pedal and or Pete.
Yeah, I think we probably want all things powered up. So getting this back on probably be the best, right?
Certainly wouldn't hurt. A lot of the doors around here are electronic, so being without power might make getting to anywhere else, or even getting back topside, difficult.
Yeah, I don't know anything about power, so I'll leave that to all of you.
This might be a stretch. Is there any chance there's some kind of like backup manual generator, like a big hamster wheel or something that we could run in? I really want there to be.
Bear-sized hamster wheel. It's about the size of a bear, maybe.
Yeah, there's a bear-sized hamster wheel. Next to the Aqualung cabinet is that one power switch that is powered down, but next to that you do see a big wheel, a track that is not moving as well. We're making it happen.
All right, so Vishtat gets too excited to wait for the bear. He would like to curl up into a rocky ball and roll into the wheel and just start spinning as fast as he can.
All right.
Without knowing if this is a good idea.
That's a great idea.
I want to seeing him do that. I want to go help and just try and like claw the wheel whichever way he's going.
Yeah. Like every time you put your kids on a merry-go-round, you're just as fast as you can.
How would you like me to? I assume that would be a roll. What do you think that should be?
Let's
survive or rumble?
I think a rumble. I like rumble for that. And we'll say since what's his name? Belyaga is helping out. I'll give an extra +1. So whatever you got plus an extra 1. So it may not.
I'll do it with hasty, and I'll add the +1.
Woo! Oh yeah, easy, critical success. So yeah, you get in and you're kind of like teetering back and forth at the bottom of this, starting to see it move, and then Belyaga comes in and gives it 1, 2, and you finally get up to the top, and it almost looks like you're going to fall back down, but you get down and roll.
And as soon as it hits its peak and starts to complete that first circle, I just want to flip the switch that's right next to the wheel.
Yeah, I was going to say, Arctura and Rain Pedal, you see that switch almost forcing itself up, but there's not enough movement yet to get it all the way up to be like powered on. So you come over and you kind of help it up. I was going to make you have to roll to flip that switch as it takes some force, but because they got it started, you're able to just, and it gets in. And then the stat, you are almost out of control. And I'm going to actually spend a point here to have you veer off course a little bit. Nice. As I saw that was in your power. Even though you succeeded, I'm going to do it anyways. It gets going almost too fast for you to control, and you do come out and you shatter that other that last remaining glass case that was holding one of the ghost power reactors. Not shutting the power down, it's just now like what the lights that were fully vibrant now kind of fall down just a little bit. Power is still restored, just not up to like what would be a full power. More of a flavor thing.
You see a hand shoot out of the wreckage with a thumbs up from Rashad.
Terminator style.
Love it.
And that does kind of get us through this this scene. You exiled and you created a hookup. So you did both. I'm going to get rid of this guy, the poltergeist. You do have Aqualung collars. But as you are now making your way even further through, out of the core and you're trying to get towards the outside of the rig, back to the outside of the rig where the seawall might be, to get that powered back up. As Pete was saying, that is the main goal here, is to get the seawall rebooted. You come into the seawall chamber, and let me see. I will share that. Flip and share that. You come into the Taiwu seawall chamber. Some W's in there. The lowest level. So you've made your way from the core, and you're going down further, and you could feel the pressure start to kind of push in on you, kind of almost feeling like you have earmuffs on, like you can't hear a whole lot, but it is pushing in on you as you get deeper and deeper into the rig itself. The lowest level spins a massive hydrostatic force field generator built to manipulate ocean currents. It is now the crumbling rig's last defense against the sea. Retasked janitor bots scramble to boost its power and keep it turning. And our goals here are to salvage a prize from the jaws of a scarred sea creature, or to reboot Taiwu and its seawall via a submerged console. And that's what Pete was kind of leaning you towards, was the reboot of the seawall. That was his main goal coming in here. But as you come in here, you do see this. There are a couple platforms. You do see a main kind of spinning reactor, a force field generator going. It's not going full speed. There are some bots kind of in random places, seemingly like re-welding some leaks, and kind of cleaning up and making sure things are it's duct tape at this point, trying to keep stuff together. So it is your job to reboot the seawall via a submerged console.
On the way down to wherever we're going, I want to turn to Pete. It doesn't really seem like this was that difficult of a task. Why have you not completed it?
What?
I mean, this will all be logged in our report.
I mean, you saw the poltergeist. It's hard to get down here.
And I ate it. I literally ate the poltergeist.
Yeah. I mean, put it in your report. I'll put it in my report too.
That I ate a poltergeist? I mean,
that you ate literal poltergeists. But I guess I did too. I ate the popcorn.
I ate poltergeist for breakfast.
Well,
anyway,
I mean, this. If you haven't noticed, we're kind of a big resource that has been spent on a task that seems really beneath our pay grade.
Well, I guess since you got me here, you guys could leave. I'll take care of it.
Well, now that we're here, we will just do it because you clearly cannot.
Well, you're going to need my word and recommendation at the end of this, right? I'll be the final sign-off here at a job well done.
I think getting it powered back up and operational will be the final sign-off.
Stott would like to pat Pete on the shoulder and say, "You have value.
You are valuable. You're a valuable member of this team."
Yes, thank you. That's why they sent me. Thank you. And thank you again for the popcorn. I didn't say it earlier, but either way, we're here. Let's just get this job done. Let's just get it done.
I'm going to try one of my moves here.
Okay.
First one for the squad leader move. So I'm going to try and devise a creative plan here. I'm going to explain it to you and give an ally here a +1 to their next roll if they stick to the plan. But if we're trying to reboot this seawall, and I feel like it's like this big rotating kind of force field type deal, I think Vishtat should use his spikes and place them strategically to help force gravitational pull in appropriate directions to help spin this force field all the way back up so that it's running smoothly. And so that's kind of what I think might be the best to get this seawall back up and running, is to get it moving in one direction as fast as possible there.
I like that. I think that'll be one half of the task that needs to be here to reboot it. There is a submerged console that needs to be played with, and I think that plays well with the idea that the power is not up to full speed. So you need a little bit of help, and this gravitational pull with your spikes will help spin that around and keep that the sea from swelling in. But also the reboot of the console needs to take place as well.
Vishtat pulls out his spikes and he looks at the spots where they need to go, and he says, I can't throw these that far. And he kind of looks at Arctura and Riven, and then he offers them to you.
Gotcha. So is the plan here to have Riven kind of place these spikes where they should go? I think that might help. I'm not too familiar with how your spikes work, but I'll go along with that if you want me to carry them off. How many spikes are you going to cover, or how many?
Pointy end goes in.
Okay. How many is Vistad handing over to Arcturus? Like, how many is this? Like,
He hands you one, and then another, and then he just like until you collapse under them. But then he takes back all but two.
okay. Okay, so I think the plan here is I'm gonna send out Riven to try to place the spikes where they need to go.
Okay.
Debating if this is maybe again another realize to kind of figure out kind of where the best spots are to place them. Probably.
Okay. Yeah, give me a realize roll, which is either bright or calm.
Because this was exactly how Rain Petal had kind of planned this, right? I get a +1, and it looks like it's already there, right? Oh, actually, let's see.
It might be the one from your stats, so you might have to add another.
The third power gives you an additional stat, correct?
Oh yeah, we all have an extra stat from our super moves.
Okay, so I'm going to add an additional one from Rain Petal's plan, right? The power.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so here's my roll. Ooh, that's a pretty big number. I got a 14. Go on that podcast.
Nice,
dude. Slow down. Yeah, you. That's a critical success. So that means, yeah. Tell me what are you doing?
Yeah, so I think again, being a pilot and just in general working with her ship and like different robotic kind of stuff, she knows. I think Artura knows where to put it, and so Artura will set out Riven to place them exactly kind of like polar opposite to each other to kind of maximize the spin and like to push these magnetic poles. And
Nice.
And with the 14, I know exactly where to put them just to get them to spin correctly.
Arctura, holy moly. Yeah, you're kind of sitting here mapping out Riven, flying around and placing these. Now, is Riven driving them in, or is that something Vestat has to do? Or do they just need to be placed? Like, they don't have to be driven into anything?
I think for more permanence, I think we should put them in, so that way they're kind of firmly lodged into something. The one I poke in the hole is what I'm worried about, but otherwise, maybe non-hull positions and something else. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, with that critical success, you're able to find the spots, but it does take time for you to kind of like point them out to Riven and get them going. While you're doing that, some bubbles start to come out of the water below these platforms that you're standing on. And you see these pirates start to come up and pull themselves out of the water. And these are, I'll share that, the Ulanga Armada Pirates, an international scourge based out of the South River nations. They loot any vessel, selling the spoils in the restless zones. Captain Benu Mansour is paranoid, having killed her predecessor in a mutiny. Her coursers are eager for battle. They favor harpoons, firebombs, and leaving no survivors. And they're coming up, and they do have like a handful of things that they're setting out on the top, and they're getting up and out like they were on some sort of scavenger mission. They do have harpoon guns strapped to their back, and they immediately see all of you, and they see Riven flying around. Anybody want to
have any reaction to seeing them?
Pete goes instantly invisible.
Oh my God, this guy. Sorry.
Anybody want to do anything before?
Yeah, is there like so where we're standing, I kind of imagine we're on like a platform that is suspended above stuff, is that correct?
Yeah, and they're it's like a foot or so above the pool of water that fills this chamber, that the gravitational pull there is keeping that water down and below, like, you know, I don't know physics, it's just happening. And they are coming up out of that with a couple spoils.
And is it like a circle around us?
There's the one main platform that you're on that enters into the center, and then there are jetting off other platforms.
So I want to
other alleys or hallways.
I want to use one of my moves, and it is Cold Iron. So I'll share it with everybody.
Yeah, sure.
You've gained supernatural powers from exposure to ATMA. When you focus on your heartbeat, you can conjure icy spikes from your hide or from a nearby metallic object. Now, it doesn't say how big or how small, so I'm just going to assume that I can just kind of surround us with these spikes, almost to prevent entry onto our platform from the pirates. So that's a plus calm.
Okay. Yeah. Make.
Ugh,
Well, let me view that again.
hideous.
Ooh. Belly.
Didn't you
Yaga,
want this? Didn't you want this to happen?
Why would you do that?
Failed.
Something gets stuck or something?
I didn't want this.
Oh,
So-
that's right. You predicted something would get stuck at the beginning of the game.
So
You said that.
do these spikes leave your body? Is that what you're trying to do and create like almost an ice jail or a ward?
I don't think it leaves me. I think I can just use the magic that I have to just make them come out of any. It's almost like I'm like freezing water up into spike form.
Yeah, you see like little strings of water start to spin out of the pool around you and form these spikes, and it's not like they come out of you more than they form onto you. But some of these spikes are so big that it's like weighing down one of your shoulders, and you're having a hard time like getting up and fully up on that one hand, and you're just constantly weighing down on that one side, like you're totally lopsided.
Great.
And you will take 1 harm there. I'll spend a token to give you 1 harm there since you did fail.
Great.
But you do have enough spikes around you that are creating a presence in almost a shielding fashion around everybody else. These pirates come out and they say, "Oh, you best let us be leaving. Don't need no more of that magic stuff." And they have their arms full of like little trinkets and treasures.
Stout looks at Rain Pedal and says, "What's your call, boss?"
Pirates don't leave here alive.
Ooh.
At that, I'm gonna fire off with my rifle and try and pick off one of the pirates there.
All right, there are 3 total that are there. There's one kind of in the lead, and it's the one in the picture with the main helmet, and then there are 2 flanking that one that have smaller respirators at their chest.
I'm gonna go for one of the smaller guys.
Okay.
Or not the leader. I
Okay.
prefer to leave those guys for last. He needs to understand what his people have done. So this is probably just going to be a regular barrage roll.
Okay.
So that is calm.
Yeah, shoot a distant foe is either calm or sly. He has 7+ to harm. Oh, jeez. Why even bother, guys?
And this also brings into play my super move, which is Vanguard. I will share that up there. My squad is a well-oiled machine. When myself or an ally attacks and rolls an 8+, it is a critical hit. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I already critical hit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
Well, now
So,
it's
yeah,
a
basically-
critical hit. This
Yeah.
so basically, I'm not shooting to wound. These are kill shots. So
Okay.
I am trying to put these pirates down. Ray Petal is usually very, very calm. It's actually one of her big stats is that she's usually pretty calm and collected. The sight of pirates seems to have incensed her almost. They're kind of what caused the downfall of the Taiwu rig, which she called home for so long. So pirates being here at the same time she is, as far as she's concerned, bad news for the pirates.
Okay. So when it says +1 harm, is that an extra piece of damage onto the
Yep. So the critical would be 2 harm, and it's up to you if that can chain to 2 guys or if it just overkills somebody.
Okay. It does travel past that main pirate there, and it totally blows off the lower half of the other pirate, and one chunk falls into the water, traveling down. You see kind of a red kind of puddle start to form in the main sea there, and the other half is still on the platform, but he is dropped with that move.
So there's still a pirate left.
Yeah, there's still 2. There's one more on the wing of the main, and then the main pirate. And the main pirate at that point is going to pull up the spear and fire a spear gun at you, and at you, Rain Petal, and I'll spend a point there. I believe that's all I have to do. I don't have to roll anything. I just spend a point, and you'll take 1 harm, and then I will let someone else act if they would like.
I think Vishtat has gotten the picture here of how to deal with these pirates. So he would like to make this platform go into the water, or at least the part the pirates are on.
All right. You can outrun your past as a violent destroyer. You can't outrun, so it's time to embrace it. When you slam your fists on the ground, roll tough. On a 7+, the resulting quake leaves a huge swath of terrain broken and altered. When you deny mercy, choose one or both. What does that mean to deny mercy?
I would guess if I had somebody at my mercy. I don't. Maybe that doesn't apply yet.
Okay.
I'm really hoping that the bloody pirate in the water is causing like some sharks or something to accrue here.
Not that you can see yet, but blood's in the water, so that is a success.
And Rain Petal, does that trigger your thing?
That does, because that's only a 9. So, but anything that's 8 or above becomes a critical.
Okay. So
basically, as Rain Petal takes the harpoon, she's gonna say, point out for Vishtat to unleash the terror, as it were, and say, "Bring them down!" And
yeah, he just sinks both fists into the metal.
Okay, and yeah, just like it almost creates, like, if you've ever seen the picture of that swaying bridge in the wind. Yeah, you kind of create this huge wave coming, and it bucks at the right time. The pirate in front's able to like get down and kind of hang on, but the person behind him, it bucks at the right time, almost like they got pushed on a trampoline, and he flies up into the air, and he's actually like clinging on to a piece of rigging up in the ceiling. He can see Riven up there like floating around, but he is hanging on there. And that pathway between you and them is now destroyed, starting to crumble and fall into the water that is below. The main platform that the main pirate is on is still there, but he is disconnected from all of you. And I'll say the pirate that got shot up in the air takes 1 harm. Let's see. Bel Yaga, I think we're Arctura. Anything you want to do? As I think Riven's got two of those spears in place.
Okay. And you said the non-captain pirate is still alive. Like 2 people are alive, presumably.
Yeah. One is up and just kind of like dangling for his life up in the top rigging of the pieces that are coming up and building the ceiling of this room. And the main pirate captain is like kneeled and kind of hanging on through that earthquake that was going through the platform that they were standing on.
I'm thinking still. Give me a second.
Okay. While you're thinking Bel Yaga, you wanna do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna fire my cannon at the one up top.
Okay. The dude in the rigging.
Yeah, so I have 2 shots with this. Okay. But I'm gonna roll this plus tough. Critical hit.
You and your crits, man. Now it's coming back around. Okay. So yeah, narrate that. What's that look like?
Oh yeah, and I I imagine it just hits him like center mass, and there's not like it almost vaporizes him to an extent, but more like turns him into like little tiny ice crystals. What they do to the T-1000 why is everything a Terminator reference?
It's
tonight?
a Terminator reference,
and it just like into like little tiny ice chunks of pirate. There's pirate
so
chunks
this cannon.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Do those shells penetrate like hulls?
Oh no.
Well, I mean, with a critical hit, I'm assuming it stops it.
I was going to say with the critical hit, that pirate bears the whole brunt of that cannonball that's coming out, and takes it not having any bits hit the ceiling or the wall that is there. That is rotating, like every now and then. You see more of the like the physical powered form of the shell that is rotating, and but you're able to pulverize that guy, and he just kind of rains down and sprinkles into the water, chumming it even more.
And I would say as that happens, multiple voices laugh out of Bel Yaga, and it's just like this weird
Cacophony?
Cacophony. Why can't I say that word tonight?
Cacophony.
Cacophony of just like laughs come out.
That pirate would be scared, but they're kind of in so many pieces. Arctura?
Yep. So it's the captain left? Is that
Captain's left and getting up and reloading another spear into their harpoon gun.
Okay. So I know that the plan was to kill them all, and that's at least what Rainpetal wanted to do. But Artura's gonna kind of put her hands up and walk towards the pirate captain and be, I guess, kind of my power is called No Words. So here I'll share.
Yeah, let's see that card.
Yeah. So my wingmate Kieran died in orbit, and you recognize his own grief, your own grief, and others. And so I'll kind of walk towards this pirate and be like, I know that we've lost kind of people here, but maybe we can kind of come to a kind of accords or kind of a peace here. And then I'll nod in sympathy. So I'll kind of give like a little nod. That's not a sympathetic nod. With the foe and try to calm the situation down.
Okay.
Calm, I believe. And I'm trying to go for the second one where I'm kind of trying to bring the fight, kind of drain the fight out. Kind of be like, hey, now I know you lost people, but
Okay. So. Yeah, let's see that roll. I have my fingers crossed for you, Robo.
Ooh,
another critical success. A 6 and a 5 on those D6s. This main pirate, as you're saying this, there's almost a level of recognition in your voice pattern and the way you are saying this and calming this person. They begin to unscrew the respirator and take off their helmet, and you do see it is a woman, kind of long flowing auburn hair. It's wet because they were underwater. But anyways, standing there. All right, there's not much left I can do.
At this, Rainpetal wants to take a parting shot.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to happen.
You've dispatched two of my best men. I can leave what I found as long as I can live to fight another day. And Rainpetal?
Yeah.
Is that real life?
Yeah.
In character? All right.
Yeah, I figured that might be the case because of how everyone else was, but I felt like I had to try.
So if this is okay, so Vestat has a history of also trying to get over his past violence and is, I guess, at least a little acquainted with Rainpetal and might have seen this coming. He would like to pull himself with one of his gravity spikes to kind of lurch into the way of the bullet.
Oh, that's a sacrifice.
Okay. So Rainpetal, you rolled a success, right? But it's a critical because.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the stat. What would that roll mean for you? What roll would you have to make?
Maybe a survive to see how bad it hurts.
Okay. Let's roll that, and we'll see what happens. We'll let the dice do the talking here.
Hasty or bright? Well, this is definitely not bright, so I'll do hasty.
Jeez. I can't buy a fail tonight. So you throw a spike, and it almost looks like you're throwing at this pirate captain. You're throwing the spike, but then as soon as it leaves your hand and hits in front of her, your body just kind of gets pulled gravitationally towards that spike as Rainpetal draws up and hits. You take 1 harm, and I'll say the pirate captain takes 1 harm, and she's going to say, I thought this was truce. She's going to fire a harpoon at Rainpetal. And I'll spend a point there. Rainpetal takes a harm.
All right, Vestat doesn't feel bad about protecting this pirate anymore.
Oh, if Rain Petals wasn't a success, a critical success, you would have taken it all, and we'd have a different outcome here. But success on success. What do you do? So who wants to act now? The pirate captain just did.
Yeah, what's Bel Yaga doing? I guess because we've all kind of been working on this pirate.
Yeah, he's got his cannon up and loaded.
Yeah, I mean, I just obliterated the one above. I mean,
no big deal.
Actually, this is what I want to do. If I can go.
Oh no!
Yep. I'm going to use my basic move called My Little Friends. You've accumulated multiple souls, but sometimes they leak out when you possess small critters. Now, I know it says small critters, but I really want to try and possess a shark.
Are you going to deep blue sea this guy?
Yes, I am.
Are you LL Cool J?
The better question is the
You're
pirate
gonna get a parrot.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah.
So roll tough on a 7+. Some of your souls inhabit them until they die, stray, or you recall them. Okay, do a roll. Let's see what happens.
It's gonna be the fail.
It's just
double sixes, ladies and gentlemen.
It's hot tonight. So we'll say because the chum was in the water, you do see kind of a pickup in swirling entities down into the water, and all of a sudden one comes kind of barreling out of the water and up. It is a shark, smaller, not a full grown, maybe adolescent shark. We'll just say great white. Why not?
Sure.
That does kind of come up and land and then go back in the water, and you have possession of that. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna just drag the pirate into the water as a feast for the other sharks.
Okay, so as it came up, it caught eye of the main pirate. Living fresh flesh is better than chum, so it kind of twirls around and then comes back. Give me, let's see. Yeah, you got to make a roll. We'll use your stats on there. You can just use the rumble as you're going to try to come up and dispatch this last pirate.
Failure.
Ooh, fail. As this pirate fired off a harpoon at Rain Petal, it sees the shark come up and it kind of catches it and is able to push it and get it out off of him. And you're now on the other side of that main platform, but it does not make contact. Anybody else want to go before this pirate gets another action?
You said we have some of these rebreathers.
Yeah, you have. Each of you have an Aqualung collar.
Can Vishtat just pick one up and hurl it at the pirate and try to knock him into the water?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I guess probably barrage.
Yeah, barrage. Too many crits. All right, that's a 7.
It's not
that's
an
a success, but not an 8 to get the critical. You do just huck it, and it catches her, and she just kind of has to bear hug it. And it does knock her into the water, not causing any harm, or would that cause harm? And what does it say on a 7?
Normally successes are 1, crits are 2. So
okay, so we'll say it does cause a harm, as is kind of the main the helmet piece of it kind of catches her in the face and bloodies her nose, and she falls into the water back first. That's her. Anybody else want to do anything here before she gets?
I really wanted it to rupture and alter her voice.
That's right. I forgot it has that.
Yes.
Yeah, like helium. Rain Petal or Arctura? I'll say Riven now has all 4 of those set.
Rain Petal, did you want to do anything, or because I think that Arctura doesn't want to kill this person, so yeah.
Rain Petal feels like they're already dead now that they're in the shark-infested waters that have been chummed up. So
yeah, we could jump back to the possessed shark if we want to try to have that be the finishing move there. I'd say go ahead and make a roll, Bel Yaga, with the possessed shark.
All right, +2. Can't really a lot of
Another. Yeah, there we go. Critical success.
And I imagine once it finishes like it brings it down there to the other shark friends that are down there. It's a whole shark colony, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unpossess it and then just let them have the feast. I don't need to be a part of that.
It does come in and grab her and punctures that air pocket that is in the aqua lung, and releasing some air out in there. And you do hear cries that are very, very, very high pitched. That would not be almost comical. And then you release it, and just three other sharks come in and kind of clean up what was the leavings there. And
Nice.
So you've dispatched the pirates, and we're out of
Pete, you can come out.
combat.
Pete, where are you
Yeah, Pete reanimates. All right, who's going in the water, huh? You guys are good.
So you said there's a console like way down submerged?
Yeah, there's one down. It's in the water. I don't know what we're going to do about those sharks now.
Is there this room like controls water levels or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Water level.
You can see on the other platform that is now disconnected from where you are is a control panel, and then attached to it there is a Bawa auto sub. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. For serious underwater work, rig scientists used. Did I share this with you? I think it there. We'll share it like this. These subs sport bubbly, childish AIs that love chasing fish and pretty lights. Sub is misleading. They can also assume a crab-like form for traversing the rig's towering hull. So that is there. Want a bedtime story before it will help out? Confuse words like up, down, or yes or no. Have access to a secret dry dock. So you do have this little sub there that, and this isn't like one you climb in. If you've seen, I watched The Abyss recently, and this is like the one that they send down, that is remote controlled. That might help, but there is a smaller control panel that maybe control water elevations.
So Vishtat's looking down into the water and looking at Arctura and saying like, well, if we don't want to deal with the sharks, could we just like drop the water level? And Arctura, you could just like jump down there with your you look like you're equipped for that.
Yeah. Okay. So if we can just get rid of those sharks, I believe I could jump down. You're correct. And so I guess is the plan to try to get to that panel across the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's disconnected from the platform you're on. There was a walkway and then the main platform.
Yeah, I think the hard part right now is how to get over to that platform. Is what I'm trying to think of. Actually, how complicated is that console? Could I send a ribbon over just to kind of maybe interface with it and then kind of turn the water down?
From where you're at, it's got a good number of buttons on there. It's not a simple up down. There are other interfaces on it that maybe make it difficult for a
bird
to have your bird do it.
Okay.
Rain Pedal, are you familiar like with this part of the rig?
Particularly, although I feel a connection to this place, but I don't really know how it all works. And
because Vistat, good. I was gonna say I'll throw you across.
It's probably a bad idea. I have 2 harm out of 3 at the moment, so I'd rather not be thrown anywhere at the moment. But talking like little pebbles of water, not pebbles, little droplets of water start to like float up out of the water and swirl around Rain Pedal. Very reminiscent of like dancing lights from D&D, just like little, they kind of float around her. And she seems to be like controlling them with her fingers. This place is familiar to me, but I don't know how anything actually works here. And then she'll let the droplets fall back to the ground.
Let me refer to the creator. I'm looking at Rain Pedals, and it says stores ATMA energy. What could that translate to? What are some things that might
maybe like
to?
maybe like overload the console or something?
Okay. Could it be any sort of like? I'm trying to think. Could you use it like Iron Man, like blasters, and be able to propel yourself over there?
Sure.
I mean, I would think. I would say you've probably built up enough of that while you were here and kind of traveling through and kind of gaining some of the ATMA energy as you've come across it through the rig, that you'd have enough for one kind of, and I'll let you put some flavor in here, one expelling of ATMA energy, Rain Pedal.
Rain Pedal wouldn't like jump or like Iron Man blast, but if it's a matter of getting over to the console, she would probably make like little ATMA discs to just walk quickly across the water, very like
Love it.
kind of running a water spider style, where she just barely taps
Nice.
the top of the water and runs across the gap there.
Yeah. So some of those drops that you've kind of pulled up and were manifesting, you've then put some ATMA energy into it.
Yeah, like flatten them out and give them just enough. Rain Pedal's a ghost, so she probably doesn't have a whole lot of physical form to begin with.
And I
so
think
just
that
enough
helps.
to like tiptoe across the water and get over there toward where the console is.
Yeah, I like that. You're able to tiptoe across, and now you are over there in this the main platform with the console there. Anybody else want to do anything before we can get Rain Pedal in the platform? Yeah, so you see there are some controls here, and being, I mean, you're the perfect one to send over there as you've been on the rig before. You're familiar with the interface. You're able to get in and kind of start messing around, and you do find the controls for the water level to either release or fill. So you are able to lower the water level if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that then, seeing as that was the plan.
Okay. Yeah, you plug in the code, it starts to fall down. The spinning. Let me get back to the flavor of it. What was it called? The force field generator. It spins with kind of greater ease now that there's only friction on the outside of it. But you can see there are some things below the water line that are more suitable to being underwater. That's why there is water in here at all times. But for a brief moment, you're able to get the water level down, and you could see, unfortunately, some sea life down there kind of floundering around on the bottom of this as the water has released. But you peek over the edge, all of you can see it. You do see a smaller control panel down on the center of the main kind of the force field generator, the shaft that goes down. You do see a little another little console down there. And I'm going to say it's probably, 75 feet down there. So quite a ways.
Cool. Okay, so I think as the panel that we're trying to get to now is open, right? It's exposed. Arturo will kind of come up to the ledge and then look at Riven and go like, I guess we're up. And so I have an ability called Grab Shoot. Let me share that.
I was looking at that one. You are equipped for emergency airdrops and landings. When you fall from height, choose one. Your landing is gentle and silent. You release a kinetic shockwave. Very nice.
Yep. And so I'll fire off that grab shoot harness. And just for flavor, I know it doesn't say on there. I'm gonna say that Riven actually attaches to like a port on the back of my suit, and kind of like the Riven's wings kind of open on my wings to help kind of glide me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this helmet kind of covers my face, and I do this little free fall dive straight to the panel. And then right when it looks like I need to stop, like the grab harness will shoot out and kind of stop me, and I'll swing over. And I'll just kind of gently hit that. I don't know if that has a roll. The ability doesn't say it has a roll, but let me know if you want me to do something to test.
No, I think you just do it, and I can spend stuff to have you land off course. But I like the flavor that's going on here. I like the spoiler that is Riven on your back, kind of keeping you falling in a good direction. And you're able to do that superhero land right at the bottom. Okay. And you see that the console right in front of you.
And then I think Arturo then realized that she has no clue how to reboot the system.
This one is a lot more like basic, as it is, most likely people are either in some kind of scuba gear while they're down there doing it, or they're doing it quickly because they have drained the water. It's pretty basic. It's just basically an on-off switch. yeah, just that one button. You're able to hit it if you'd like.
Okay. Just for flavor, just because I want to use all my powers. I am gonna use this card called Planning Ahead as well.
Heck yeah.
And so this power is you're never surprised, and so you can reveal your contingency plan by rolling a bright, and then something kind of happens, right? And so I just want to do it kind of for fun and see if I can kind of come up with a contingency plan, because I forgot. Yeah. I don't know how this panel works. So, okay. So I'll roll a bright roll, right?
Yeah, bright. And then you're looking for a 7+.
That's a 12.
Yeah, that's a 12. No big deal. So some of the things that you can choose, you can an item you stashed here beforehand, an innocent but useful souvenir you purchased, a book you downloaded to your datapad, how the weather is about to dramatically change. Is there something you want to narrate while you're down there?
Sure. So, okay. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a little small port that maybe looks like a tool or like a key you have to put in there. But I obviously don't have this key. But if you flash back to when we were in the main core, I had grabbed one of those ears of corn that were possessed earlier. And this hole seems like it's just big enough that I can jab like something in it. And so I'm going to just push that corn in, and then all of a sudden the system's going to like boot up, and electricity's going to come out of it, and you'll see, like the wires start turning on, and the system will turn on.
Yeah, Vishat will start his gravity spin up top.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so as you're putting the ear of corn in the keyhole, and flipping that switch up, and Vistat is getting his gravitational pull going, it's all working together at the same time, and that shield begins to spin, and it almost turns into a blur now. You can't see through it and see the ocean beyond, as it is moving at a speed that is fast enough that it is blurring, and seems to be working. Yeah, you got it, man.
Cool. And then I'll use my harness to kind of pull myself up and rejoin the party at the top.
Where does he get all these wonderful toys? I can't remember the exact words from the Joker in the Batman movie, but that's what I'm thinking here. So you're able to kind of reverse repel. I don't know what that's called in the climbing world, but you get back up on the main platform now with climbing. Hey, sometimes the easiest answer is the right answer. You get to that main platform with Rain Pedal. Rain Pedal, are you going to let water back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can save the sea life down there, I would prefer to do so. They're not.
Yeah, definitely. You let the water back in, and Pete comes out, kind of hands on his hips, just like looking around, marveling at the situation here. Well, Intersect's going to be happy about this one, guys.
And it will be noted that you did nothing.
Well, I mean, it's my word against yours.
That's ours against yours.
All right. Can you just say I did a little something? Like, give me just a little bit of help here.
I will say that you hid during the battle with the pirates.
Nobody, they already don't like me, right? That's why they send me out here. Just give me a little bit, and give me a little bit of grace with the rest of the squad here. That's all I ask.
My face is unchanging.
Snarl.
I feel like I'm loyal to who we work for, and
Anyway, so yeah, he's kind of hands on his hips. Well, Arturo, you got the ship out of here, right? I guess I can hop a ride with you, and we can. Now that this is back up and running, we'll get some more Intersect agents out here, and.
Hold on. And I pull the dossier for the mission back out, and I flip through all of the pages.
Oh no!
It doesn't say anything about extracting you.
Verstappen hands him some more corn.
Yeah, you see his face go pale and just blank, and he holds out his hand, and he's just like eating the corn.
It says assist embedded agents with retaking the rig. Doesn't say anything about you becoming an unembedded agent.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that's fine. Lestat, do you want to maybe make some more corn so I can sustain myself? I'll stay here until more agents show up, and I'll tell them how heroic I was. That's fine. That'll work. All is well. It's fine.
Shot just gets super distracted and excited about the idea of doing more crop planting.
He's like, yes, I get to do the thing. I imagine this conversation is kind of taking place as we're walking out from the seawall chamber, back up into the core, through the living quarters, and now you're back on the main deck, and the Falcon, I think was the name, is there. Pete stays at the entrance to the living quarters, and he kind of waves you off as you guys enter your the Falcon and take off.
Goodbye, useless Pete.
And that's it, guys. You did it. And look at that, right on the 2-hour mark. Not lying with the 2 hour.
For real.
Yeah,
cool?
Go ahead. Yeah, any kind of caps that you want to the story, feel free.
As the Falcon's taking off, I want the camera, like this movie, like the camera's gonna pan to the cabinet / pantry, and you're gonna see a can of corn, and it's gonna start floating slightly and has the same guys like aura that was on the corn.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna see the can float, and then it's just gonna be like a to be continued.
Yeah, they're on your vessel.
I feel like
love it.
while that's happening, I'm over there like typing the report with like one claw per paw.
Do you have any little air glasses too? Like you put a little.
Pete was the worst.
Yeah, every other sentence is just something useless, Pete.
He's hereby referred to as useless Pete, so I'll use his full name at the start.
Rain Petal, any capper there?
I'll look at Arctura and say, I definitely appreciate what you did for the Wraith and what you were trying to do for that pirate. It
Cool.
doesn't go unnoticed.
Cool.
Sorry that I used your good intentions as a distraction.
And then I guess Arctura will say, like, that pirate made her choice, so there's no fault in what happened. So.
And I think Verstat's epilogue is a new, like, his own little shelf store brand of what was it? Poltercorn.
Poltercorn. I love it. Yeah, and you guys, you kind of fly off of the rig and take off. You do see some skirmishes around. You can't stop all the pirates, but the main reactor's up and running, kind of creating some safety down in the bottom of the Taiwu rig. For now, Intersect agents are coming in now that they know it's been kind of secured. And that concludes our story of ATMA, Taiwu rig, and Intersect raid for tonight. Right on the 2-hour mark. Again, Matthew, thank you for dropping this in our laps and getting us a chance to play this. This was super cool, super awesome, and interactive with the tabletop player here, and the cards are beautiful. The flavor text is perfect for a DM just stepping into the system. Like I literally did zero prep here and was able to kind of piece together something. So I was happy with the outcome of the story that we all told here with these cards in this game. So thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, I would
Had a
say
lot of fun.
be sure to check out the Kickstarter. They are accepting late pledges. If you want to mess around with the actual what we were using on stream, you can go to atma.meramorph.com and you'll be able to jump right in, which I'm going to mess around with a whole collection and see what's out there.
Yeah. Again, if you... Yes. Yeah. Jason, Robo, you guys want to say anything? Last words?
No, just that it was really fun. I love these kind of role-play games, and yeah, I like the card system. It makes it easy to have things to play off of, and that's sometimes the hardest part about kind of coming up with things. That I like that each card kind of has like something that you can work on, or an item, or like just a way to go. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I will also say that from a business standpoint, this is genius. The character card, like the fact how modular this is, as it's cardable. It's like what's the first, I guess, season or act here? I can't remember what it's referred to as in the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I think hopefully this will all be season 1 if it does
Season
well
1.
enough.
You know, the fact that you
Nice.
could just easily, you know, put out another 20 characters, a whole another set of scenes, like as something else to purchase. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's obviously hours upon hours of stuff to play with what is already
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've already built yourself such a good, like, just modular system that, like, all you got to do is write, like, do the writing, and you know, here's a new character, here's the kind of moves they should have. Like, this is just this is so well put together. I really, really enjoy this, and the fact that I've never played this before or any of the games that inspired it. You said it was kind of inspired by like Dungeon World or Powered by the Apocalypse style games. I've never played any of those before. Not only do I want to play more ATMA, but now I definitely want to go give those games a try. And see how they kind of play too. This is great. I'm looking forward to owning this and getting more people playing. I think this
For sure.
would slot in with Featherfall one-shot nights. Like,
Yeah, we can make this happen.
Like,
I agree.
pretty regular.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, everything Jason just said. It's great stuff. Super fun to play. Happy we got this opportunity. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
We are going to do a quick raid, so we
We're
are
gonna
going to
do a
go
raid.
over to Hitchhiker, which is in our
All right.
Wednesday
Yeah, so
games.
before we raid, just last goodbyes. Thank you for hanging out, everybody in chat. Thank you, Matthew, for bringing this again at Meramorph Games. You can check them out. Check out their Kickstarter. If you watch this or you listen to this on podcast, go back to the YouTube video. Check it out so you can see the cards and the artwork in action. I think that's kind of like the that's the seal, right? I want to get my hand on these cards. So again, Matthew and Meramorph Games, thank you for the sponsored playthrough. I said it that time, I didn't forget it. Thank you for the sponsored playthrough of ATMA. We had a great time. We are going to raid a friend of the channel. So tell him FeatherFall sent you, and everybody have a good night.